I am Sam Killermann. That is my real last name, and I always find myself having to say that. And I'm a comedian, I'm an author, and I'm an activist. A couple years ago, I drew a picture of a toilet, and I published it on my blog. And the idea was to create a sign for a restroom that didn't connect to gender. So an all-gender restroom, a restroom for people of all genders. And I'd been going around, at that time, I'd been going around the US and popping into these town halls where people were discussing the bathroom issue. And there was a lot of debate of transgender people wanting to use restrooms and needing to use restrooms and not being provided any sort of a restroom to use. And towns, when they were struggling with this problem, they didn't know how to deal with it, they didn't know what steps to take. And at every one of these little town halls, this issue kept coming up of like, well, what do we put on the door? And I wasn't expecting it to become a thing, as in like a real sign that people were using on real restrooms, and then it did. And now it's a real like sign that like in the Austin airport, they have this sign all over Austin. I see this sign. It's being used on tons of college campuses. It's being used in a lot of businesses. It's in the White House. It's on 3 different continents now, and I never would have guessed that would have come from what was, I think, a moment of frustration and snarkiness and desperation for me.
One of the things that we do that's a lot of fun is here in the Austin community that we particularly set up to address the fact that we live here and we love living here and we love being part of this community, and we wanted to reach out to the other adults in our community to support them in their knowledge and capacities around sexuality in their own relationships, but then in other relationships where they talk with their kids as well. So one of the things I love about Sam is how much he is based in community and the ways that he kind of sees that as the foundational way that our community broadly, our culture, can move forward is through interacting and engaging at that level with each other in this just very human way.
He puts himself into everything he does and takes a lot of risk doing that. He's very brave to put his perspective out in the world and invite both a lot of positive response, and I think overwhelmingly positive, but also a lot of people that are, confused or misunderstanding of what his message is and what he's trying to help promote.
I think that all of us have the ability to contribute in unique ways, in ways that we're specifically gifted to contribute, to solve problems in our community, to make things better. And we often think that we have to help in a certain way, or we have to fit a certain mold in order to make a difference. And I think with the toilet sign, which is so funny to even like refer, or to know that I'll be known as toilet sign person, to be toilet sign person, it required me to be comfortable with being toilet sign person, and to see that that's not a typical way maybe to impact a community, but it was a way that I was uniquely gifted to impact a community. We have the tools at our fingertips to do some really amazing things. Like I have, with no training, with no special education, with no like fancy equipment, I've broadcast messages to millions of people around the world. Like I've connected with people in over 100 countries. I've had conversations with millions of people, and that was with a laptop in a small apartment in East Austin, right? Like, so we have so much at our fingertips, and we can choose how we use that. And I really do hope that people recognize that you are making an impact and you are changing the world every single day, and it's really up to you to change it for the better or not to.